Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer 2024 main tournament. We have a couple of great runners for you tonight, Maniacal and Dr. Earworm, representing Group R. Maniacal currently 2-0, looking to continue his undefeated streak. I believe he's never made brackets before, so he's hoping to do that. Dr. Earworm currently 0-1, looking to get a win on the board. This is Cross Hunt, which we'll talk about. I'm Drossie here with Tracy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah. Two friends of mine, Maniacal and I go way back. Doc, I've met a couple of times at SG Live. Also, really cool person. So, really great people, great runners. Really looking forward to this race. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, it's
you
nice
know,
when we both have personal connections to both runners.
yeah, absolutely. It's really cool because then you hate that one of them has to lose, but you also know that one of them has to win, so that
Yeah,
works
it's
out.
okay. They get two games against each other. We can always hope they split them.
There you go. But yeah, cross hunt. This is the weird mode, right? I've enjoyed some of the cross hunts I've seen, but it is kind of it's there's a meta for open and there's a meta for AD keys, and whether you follow the meta or not, I don't know. But there's no meta for cross hunt yet. It's kind of cross keys, but it's a little different than
Yeah,
cross keys. So
I just figure play it like Krosky's. Oh no, did Doc forget to change his scene?
that would be a problem. Well,
That's
no, like
bad.
that's not a scene. That's what the SC2 SNES menu looks like.
So how
So
is
I don't understand why his timer is going and the game is not.
right?
So that I mean, I guess you can check with him. In the meantime, we have flippers, and we got the actual good side of Spec Rock Cave. We're gonna do a bomb jump to get across. And yeah, just Dark World Link's house, which, I don't think you're gonna out of logic bunny walk this early.
Yeah, I guess we will follow Maniacal and hopefully Doc realizes that something's wrong here.
Yeah, this feels like an OBS freeze. Although the timer is going, I don't know.
Right.
That's
OBS
weird.
can't be frozen or the timer wouldn't be streaming
Yeah, that's
live.
that's. But again, this isn't a splash screen. This is the
Yeah.
SCP menu. Like that's normal. That's what you would see. So I don't know what's going on here. In the meantime, Spec Rock Cave spitting us out at the brother's house. We did check the race game. I don't remember what it was there. Let's assume nothing. Of course, in this mode. All right. Well, we got our trackers on it. Derek is following the tracker,
Oh,
and
yes, because he's tracking, so he's clearly playing.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what the deal is. Because, yeah, I have his stream up and he is tracking actively, so he's clearly
I,
playing the seed.
I don't know what would cause this. Okay, we got Hyrule Castle. Maniacal says we're not going to do that right now. We'll do that later. With two bombs, you're not going to actually go down to the bottom or try and go to the back. Plus, you can come back for connectors.
Okay, I've reached him. He said his capture card froze, but in real time, it's fine now, so within 10 minutes, we should be seeing it
Okay.
going properly.
Small key to Skull Woods, which logically has meaning and good to have one before we go to the back, especially now the pinball key in this mode is not going to be vanilla, which I absolutely hate. The one thing I really don't like is just that you fall down in that pinball room when you have the bad woods, and it's like well, now you can't get out.
Ooh, Eastern big early. That is nice.
That's
That's one of
nice.
those things you can be hunting for a while. Though I guess with this mode, if as long as you can get 10 other Triforce pieces without the one in Eastern, it doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest difference between this and regular cross keys is regular cross keys can have these really long go -1s looking for things that are essentially like an ice rod, a big key, a specific big key to a specific dungeon, a swamp small, a few other things like that. Whereas in this mode, because you have choices, you just need to get your 10 Triforce pieces, and they're not all, they're in specific locations, but you don't have to do all the locations. It doesn't matter as much if you miss the one big key, because you can just get a different one.
Yeah, one interesting thing you'll sometimes see runners do is if they have the mirror and it's a regular crystal, not a 5/6, you can just mirror out after grabbing the Triforce piece before the crystal drops.
Yeah, you need to make sure, if it's not a 5/6 crystal, I think if it's, or not you don't want to do that for pendants unless you've already read Ped.
Right.
You
If you know
especially
Pet
don't.
is dead, you can do it for blue and red pendants as
Right. You
well.
don't ever want to do it for green pendant because you can never know what that is. And we're gonna blind drop down for 20 rupees, but this early in the game, money actually has meaning, so. Especially with flippers already putting Zora in logic. In fact, that's what we've gotten so far is flippers. Another connector. It's like Maniacal is in. Well, he took he did the whole Spec Rock Cave connector sequence, which does get us to Dark World, but it's not logical access. So there may be. I mean, because it's so close. I believe it was really close to start because of that. I could see him using that later. But right now, you don't bunny walk this early.
You know what would be nice? A weapon other than bombs.
Really nice. I do like the bomb purchase though, because if you run into Mini Moldorm Cave, you want to be able to do it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and a few other things. Oh, okay,
Or maybe we might have. I
fine.
don't know. I didn't see if he already ran into this. He might have already and been like, "Yeah, I need to buy bombs." Okay. 20 rupees, arrows, heart,
That's our first health
map,
buff.
Okay, when the highlight of a 5-item cave is the heart container, that's a bad 5-item cave. Like, it wasn't even big money. And maps have very little meaning in this mode. Okay, now we're going to go over to Hyrule Castle. There is one chest in logic here. I don't know if he'll do any of the others. With 7 bombs, he can. You can take this all the way down to Zelda Cell.
Out of logic, of course, but
I mean,
you want to do what you can.
Yeah, I mean, the only real issue is that small key. And that small key, I don't know where, have we even seen where Sanctuary is? That small key is, and of course, it's less of an issue in this situation because whatever might be back there, you might not need.
Speaking of smalls, there's a TR small. We can't really do much with it at the moment. Though I guess if we find, like, TR middle and want to work backwards.
Yeah, I mean, the TR small, or you could just use it for the lava chest if you, because you're going to get 4 keys. And unless you have an entrance situation where, like, only one entrance is available, you're never going to need more than 1 to finish the dungeon.
And it looks like whatever Doc's doing, he found a sword somewhere, so we'll see if Maniacal gets that sometime soon.
Might be right here. Or we could find Ether here.
Which we'll need a sword to use.
Yeah, can't use Ether right now. Ether's, low-key a good medallion to have with the sword when you're, like, low health and stuff. There's a lot of things that die very quickly to an Ether cast.
Thank you to our tracker, Darak Sharna, who is following Docstream and seeing based on what locations he's marking off on his map tracker, where he must be. So, sounds like he's in the lumberjack vicinity.
And just a map in the basement. And we're just gonna save and quit. I think Maniacal was thinking about checking one of the exits, but the green guard was right on top of him. And once you kill the green guard, the death warp becomes a lot more difficult. You essentially have to waste a bunch of bombs. And
well, you could
you
take
can
some hits from the ball and chain guard.
Yeah, you could do that too, but like it'll still be there. You can check the entrances later.
Hey, Hotel Mario sub 10. So and
we have flippers, so we're just gonna do this the normal way and get over here to this drop down.
I would imagine we will see Docstream in about 3 minutes, if I had to guess. Oh, Uncle at Useless Fairy.
Yeah, this is not where you hope to find the uncle.
No, you hope to find it at some place like Lumberjack, where...
Yeah, Lumberjack is ideal. If not Lumberjack, the glove lock spot at Vanilla Sanctuary, or the magic bat spot that's locked by a hammer.
Yeah, and Uncle's junk, too. Looks like Maniacal's gonna check Sank entrance, see what it is. And
Magic Bat?
Yep. So Magic Bat is glove locked, which is kind of minimal.
I mean, you expect to get a glove. It isn't guaranteed. You can do a gloveless lead, especially in this mode where you have choices. But
yeah, I guess ice is the only dungeon that requires glove.
That's correct. I mean, obviously entrances could require a glove to get into, other dungeons, but yeah. Nice tree pull. As we slowly eke our way up to Zora money.
So now we'll see. Well, first, Lumberjack Hut.
Another bomb shop.
Besides more bombs, sure.
Yeah, no, he was down to one. This makes sense. Which will, again, set him back for a possible Zora play, but...
Okay, Useless Fairy at Lumberjack, you do like to see that.
We like to see that.
So we now know that we definitively do not need to beat Aga 1.
Always nice. Oh, there's the sword.
Well, we knew it was somewhere in the Lumberjack vicinity, so that makes sense.
Well, I would amend that to say that it is possible to need to beat Aga 1 for Dark World access. In all of the cross keys that I've played over the last several years, I don't think I've ever actually played a cross keys seed where my Dark World access was Aga 1.
Yeah, that is really out there.
That is super unusual. Now, we do have illogical Dark World access through Spec Rock Cave. If we do a bomb jump, we can get to the other side, and that spits out at Dark Link's house.
And hey, Lumberjack at Thieves' Hideout, but it's just bombs.
Yeah, I don't think we saw this fortune teller hut, so we'll see what's here. And then Maniacal's gonna have to make decisions. You know, you got Eastern, which is good because you don't have any glove locked locations. And then you have, hey, look, and there's a big key on Lake Kalia Island. We have a swimming frog. And there's a bow somewhere.
Well. Oh no, Doc's not frozen. He's actually thinking. Oh.
Yeah, because you can see the water moving.
Yeah, right. It took me a moment. So he's gonna check Hobo here.
I mean, in logic, early free item. I
Right,
like
and
this.
he has Zora money too, so that's more of an incentive to do the flippers checks with those early
Yep.
flippers.
And that connector Maniacal taking.
Ooh!
Oh, silvers at 14 minutes.
No, that I think that's just the bow. I think.
No, he had the bow.
No, I think the tracker, our tracker, because he was looking at Doc's stream directly, which
Oh, I
is
gotcha.
about a minute ahead of the restream, just so we can allow time for
Right.
buffering.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Yeah, the arrows are brown, so yeah, you're correct. That is a bow.
Yeah. Still a very nice find, especially with the Eastern big key. We can pull clear Eastern if we find it. Selga Dasan would be so happy.
Back of Escape, we got Big Key to Meyer, we got another, and 2 heart containers. But hey, the Big Key to Meyer is useful.
Oh, and Doc finds Hookshot
Hookshot
Cave, but
Cave.
decides not to follow the connector. Which makes sense, because I'm sure he wants to get the flippers checks out of the way first.
Oh, for sure. And you know, if you find a hookshot, or even boots, it makes it a little more enticing. That's fun.
I mean, a connector's a connector.
Pod and Turtle Rock are red crystals, so that opens up an extra entrance. Michael sees the big key.
Oh, that is our first bottle sitting on Zora Ledge, so you probably want to grab that in case you find Sick Kid.
Yeah, it's terrible when it sucks when you find Sick Kid and you don't have a bottle, and then you get a bottle shortly thereafter, but you're no longer near Sick Kid.
Right.
Yeah, just grab the one. You know, you there's a good chance you're gonna get 3 more, potentially, but you might not get them before Sick Kid. Oh,
Thanks,
wow.
Solsky.
That's a hammer.
But yeah, the flippers locked the bow and the hammer today, so those early flippers were pretty key.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a glove sitting out there, yeah, because yeah, hammer at Zora. I mean, yeah, we could get the hammer at Zora regardless. Oh, and Maniacal must have gotten. There must be a 300 somewhere that we missed on Maniacal's end,
Yeah.
because he now has Zora money as well.
I assume Maniacal's not going to traverse Hookshot Cave. No, he's going in. Nope. Changes his mind.
He thought about it.
Good, he needs the hammer.
Oh, Eastern.
Imagine that.
Okay.
Full clear incoming.
Yeah. This just doesn't happen to me. A full clearable Eastern Palace. We're not even 20 minutes into the seed. Now, granted, it's not in logic because we don't have a lamp, but that's not going to stop our runners from doing it, nor should it.
Right. I mean, you especially with like the sword to see your way in the dark and everything.
I mean, the dark room to get over to the big key chest is one of the easiest dark rooms in the game. The one to get to the back is a little more difficult, but like, you know, these runners are going to know how to do that. Alright, Maniacal does get his all-important hammer. And the best part about this is because this is cross-hunt and not cross-keys. It will be worth doing this no matter what. We don't care if it drops a pendant.
Right. Yeah. No, it's great. When you see a full clearable dungeon, You
You
don't
just
have to
do it.
think twice.
Just do it.
Doc having a bit of trouble with those Stalfoides.
Popping up skeletons. I don't know. And a moon pearl. Well, that's kind of important.
Yeah, I guess Eastern's the place. So
It's a good thing we have all the things that just do Eastern, because yeah, we do know people that would be very late to that moon pearl.
and what do you know? Maniacal's found his way in there too. But yeah, we just need a glove for non-connector Dark World access now.
All right, so it's hard to say exactly what our situation is. Maniacal definitely has checked some things that Doc hasn't, because he's got ether.
Yeah, which could be interesting if we find a connector to the Meyer area.
Yep. But more to the point, Doc's gonna do those checks, because the only Dark World access we have is not in Logic. I don't know if Doc has done the out of Logic bomb jump to get to the South Dark World. It does make going there a little more enticing if you're Maniacal. There's there's a couple of items you can just get there. A lot of information you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't really understand cross-world entrance routing.
I don't know that anyone truly understands it.
Wall kicks.
I mean, if anyone does, yeah. There's a handful of really good cross keys players. Shout out to that tournament in its finals.
Yeah, I believe Gamachu is up 1-0 on Faker Jr., and they're, of course, both in this tournament as well.
Yeah, I believe their game 2 is tomorrow, so... we didn't get to see it because it was in the dark, but Doc doing a great job getting through the dark room.
Yeah, and that one's a little bit tougher without the fire rod.
Yeah, I actually, to be honest, I find that one for pure dark rooms. I always say the hardest one to learn is Misery Mire, but I think that one for me is maybe the hardest one to just do. That or the turtles in Pod. Obviously, if you have a fire rod, both are pretty free.
Well, again, for the one here, like having a sword definitely helps compared to trying to do it with just a bow.
Absolutely. Dr. Irwin going for a pretty standard quick kill, gets his Triforce piece, and we get a red pendant.
And apparently Doc at some point found out that the green pendant was Hera, so we know 2 of the 3 pendants.
Oh, Maniacal can use ether on this thing. Yeah, actually, you know what?
That's a creative use.
Yeah, I like that use, because it kind of gets you a thing to be able to see where you're at. He hasn't gotten this. Okay, he must have picked up the small key and used it pretty quickly afterward, because I never saw the 0 go to 1. Whatever works. But yeah, that's a really good use of ether. This is a very low magic dungeon. Like, you're not using magic against the Armos Knights, and you'll get it all refilled. So, no reason not to use that resource at hand.
And the enemies are dropping full magic decanters anyway.
If there's anything else in this eastern area.
So we'd really like to find something like, say, boots or hookshot.
Hookshot would be great. Boots would be interesting. Maniacal would hover the hookshot cave for sure. Would open up. Oh, Paradox. Paradox.
Yeah,
cave.
Paradox. So
Paradox.
7 checks.
Get some. Well, hopefully we do better. Do better here than in the 5-check mini Moldorm cave. Okay, that's a good start. We got a flute.
Yeah,
Although
flute is...
flute gets us a mountain, so that does give us a pretty good amount of things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, flute as a movement item is really nice.
Very rare that the flute is hard required for a cross key seed, but you always want to have it. Big
I've
key to
seen
Hera.
enough that... Oh, there's Hera Big, and we know that's Green Pendant. So Hera is now beatable. And
Cape and
Desert's...
Desert Small.
Yeah, Desert Small and Cape.
Yeah, that Desert Small also really nice to have before you've found any entrances to Desert.
Since we don't have Master Sword, Cape could be interesting if we find ourselves on the roof of the castle.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Bumper Cave. Well, that's not cool, game. So Paradox spitting us out at hammer pegs. Well, at
I
least
mean, he could go back in if he very slowly hammered all 22 pegs.
Yeah, it's true. We do have the hammer and we do have the Moon Pearl, so that is doable. But also, as you say, very slow.
Yeah.
There's the flute for Maniacal. I think we're going to go to the mountain, though. I imagine we're going to see very similar play from Maniacal.
He really is liking that ether.
Ether's great on mini Moldorms.
But I am definitely intrigued by us having the means to beat 2 pendant dungeons so early.
Yeah, what's that third pendant gonna be? Of course, we don't know if we have access to Hera.
Right, but again, if we find it, we can beat it.
So the other good thing about this location, the only good thing about that location is that you don't have to check it later with mitts. You can knock that off your list of things to do. You'll never have to do it. We do have bumper ledge, and Doc is going to check it.
Ah, that's what... Whoa! Well...
Mountain.
We had that through the flute anyway, but okay.
More mountain access. Chess game and a big key to Ganon's Tower. Okay. That's significant because we can get 2 Triforce pieces from Ganon's Tower. One of them is behind that big key.
Yeah, and with the bow... well, no, we don't have a fire source to do the climb.
No, we're not. Yeah, I once was, was out of logic doing a climb with a bunny revive, and was very sad when I got to the fire part and realized, wait, I'm missing something.
So, Doc and Super Bunny Cave, this is new for us. And we'll see where it leads. Or did he come in the top?
I think he might have come in from the bottom. We'll find out in a second.
So Maniacal's also about to find his way to the mountain.
He's gonna take a fall first.
Okay, so Doc must have just come in.
Yeah, I think it was the back.
The top. Ooh, laser bridge.
In logic, laser bridge, because we have that cape.
Oh, right. Now the only question is if there's anything good on it.
Yes.
Yeah, Samaria's good. We can backtrack with Samaria. Oh, both canes.
I mean, Berna's nice, but Maria's good, Yeah, I would, yeah. And the nice thing is, you want to talk about the easiest dark room in the game. Going backwards through the rail maze is the easiest dark room in the game, because you just hold up. I wonder if that was coded that way so that when people were playing this game for the first time, if they got lost, holding up would just get them back to the start and they could start over. Like even in the light, like if you've never done this before, it's not obvious what you're supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You want it to be easy for players to extricate themselves from the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. We got a
Oh,
pod small, and I don't think we're gonna go any further. We could.
that's our
Um,
third pod small.
a lot of pod smalls early. But yeah, Dr. Irwin could continue up, but with this weaponry, I'd want to have something better to deal with pokies to go further. So
And
plus,
it looks
you
like
want
he
to,
hasn't found the TR small that Maniacal has.
yeah. Plus, um, you want to rescue the old man if you can. Like as long as he's not hiding out in Harris somewhere. Oh,
Guess we are
well,
gonna.
okay, we're gonna do it from here. I mean, the issue's still the same, but yeah, 3 hearts, no male upgrades, nothing good to kill the pokies with. This is not something I want to do right now. My Maniacal has found the old man rescue cave, so he's going to do that. The most important dark room to learn for anybody that might be new out there.
And Doc
Yeah, with
is
only
going
one
to.
small key, I don't blame Dr. Irwin for going ahead and killing that pokey. When Maniacal does this, with his number of small keys, I might just burn a small key. Empty bottle.
Well, but Maniacal could get all the way to the front.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I'd want to. Yeah, you don't have the fire rod. Yeah, I mean you could do it. I don't think he's seen the laser bridge entrance yet. What you could do, what I've seen some people do, is just open the door that takes you to Trinex, and then you don't care anymore. Like if you mess, you're not gonna mess up. Oh, hi,
Ooh.
lamp. That's a thing.
Yeah,
Oh no, wait,
that
he's
is
only
a
got one
fire
small.
source and has strong logical implications.
Okay, okay. Well, it's 3 pod smalls. We have it's only one TR small, so you're gonna kill the pokey. Michael says, "You know what? I have a cane of burden now. I'm gonna use it." Oh, now I have a cane of Samaria. I might need to save a little bit of magic. And taking the death from the laser to get your health back makes a ton of sense. I'm pretty sure that was on purpose.
And even as relatively easy and important as Old Man Rescue in the Dark is, it's still nice to have a lamp.
Oh yeah. Yeah, looks like Maniacal tried to lay that block a
Oh, and
little
here's
bit
the
too early.
front of TRs. Think we can find the big chest too? Have all 4 TR entrances on the mountain?
That would be quite the thing. It does mean that we don't really have to worry about keys, though. Wait, although Doc only has the one. Doesn't have any now.
Hmm.
Did he came in with none, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so he hasn't
powder's
found the...
interesting because, as we said, Magic Bat is glove locked.
Mhm.
Though it's certainly a good safety regardless.
Yeah, I feel like powder. It is my favorite safety item. I do feel like it has a little less value in entrance modes, because one of the best places to use it is deep in Turtle Rock, where here there is no deep in Turtle Rock unless Laser Bridge decides to be in a dumb spot. We're gonna check these Dark World entrances. We're gonna find Thieves Town. We can't do a lot here without the big key, but we
I
can at
mean,
least
4
check the front
checks.
4. Get a shield.
Love to see it.
We get a small key to Castle Tower, which
Which
opens
is
up one chest.
no, it's completely useless. We already got one CT
Oh,
small, and we already discussed
okay.
that we're not going to need to beat
Yeah,
Aga
okay.
1.
So if that's our second CT small, then you're absolutely right. We don't need a. We certainly don't need the second one. Yeah, Maniacal's gonna go ahead and do the other 2 TR checks, so he'll get his lamp as well. I mean, it's early enough that that lamp has quite a bit of use. Desert Big Key. As another dungeon that we can do once we find it. It's even in logic. We got a fire source, we got the small key, we got the big key.
Oh, Maniacal with his ether. You were wondering whether he'd bother with the pokey key, but ether just frees the pokey and hammer it.
Oh, with 1 key you do get the pokey key. I had the pod keys and the turtle rock keys mixed up, and for some reason I was thinking he had 3 of them. Now if you have like 3 of them, like just use a key. Especially when you found 3 entrances.
Yeah.
But with one key you don't do that because you want to be able to make sure you have at least 1 left to get to Trinex.
Oh, and here's Spike Cave. We have no glove.
Yeah, and Dr. Earworm doing a nice job of remembering that he has no glove and not getting all the way.
I have definitely seen runners traverse Spike Cave.
We have seen that. Like, that is not an unusual thing. And we won't have to sequence break through Spec Rock Cave. It looks like one of our mountain entrance, Old Man, from the Old Man Rescue, is just straight up in the Dark World. So, just a little ways away from that exit. So not a ton of... Well, we have the hammer to get us to the pod area, but we don't have access to Village of Outcast, interestingly enough.
Well, the volume's off a bit, but I figured 35 minutes in we'd get a bit of a sample of Doc's Grand Poo World 3 soundtrack. Let's get the volume adjusted.
Yeah, and there is that Spec Rock Cave. So Doc did not do the bomb jump to find out. This is kind of awkward. Oh, that mirror is nice. Because there are a couple of free items if we go to the west. But we have the hammer, so we can go do a bunch of stuff to the east as well. And that is what Doc's gonna do. Except we get to find Spiral Cave. And he's just gonna do it.
Why not? It's an item.
Maybe it spits you out someplace good. Maniacal also correctly remembering that he can't do Spike Cave.
Hey, well, there's our glove.
Can't have.
That was an important chest.
Spiral. Okay, so where's the spit us out? Okay, we don't have to check that anymore. That's nice. And now we just have straight up Dark World access, so. So Maniacal, meanwhile, is going to do Hyrule Castle. Let's see if he got one. Yeah, he could do Dark Cross, and probably checks these entrances as well. Or he's going to check the entrances first. Okay, that gets us to the Village of Outcast area.
I love how we'll never have to bomb open Hype Cave entrance because it's just old man exit.
Yep. Oh, there's a big key over here on Lake Hylia Island. Doc's gonna go ahead and pick that up.
Oh, right, there was. DR Big! I mean, not that it would have done anything for us anyway, because we haven't found the big chest yet.
And we're still an ice rod and a fire rod away from being able to kill Trinex.
Right. I mean, if we hadn't found Laser Bridge, then it could have been useful for traversing the dungeon forwards, but
yes,
we know where Laser Bridge is.
Alright, our last exit. Yeah, he got a shield in Dark Cross, and now we got our last exit. Which is also a Village of Outcasts, so... We got lots of ways to get to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah. Well, especially once Maniacal gets that glove.
That too, but he also hasn't checked the old man's start point. Early catfish check for Doc.
Maniacal decides he does not want upgrades. Well, he can only afford one upgrade, so that might be part of it.
I mean, he's got a pretty good amount of what he has. Oh, hey, Desert. Desert's
And
the other
Harry.
pendant?
Wow, French vanilla pendants.
Yeah, I was say I can never remember which one's blue and which one's red between Desert and Hera.
I can tell you Hera is not green.
Yeah, me too. It's nice though to be able to find Tower of Hera and just be able to do it. Okay, meanwhile, Maniacal's done with Desert. Not sure if he got anything out of that. It's kind of funny because the runners were doing very similar things for quite a while. But with Maniacal not checking the old man save and quit and instead landing in these West Dark World locations, he's finding different things. At some point, they're gonna flip-flop places, though.
They can't hear us. Now they can hear us.
Oh,
The buff's
yeah.
back in here.
Okay. We are. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, wait. There, it's back. We were gonna be a little bit behind, potentially, but
Yeah, apologies for some technical difficulties in the home booth.
right now we're commentating off the stream you're watching, which means we're gonna be a little behind what you all see.
Well, we've got it back now, but it's just a matter of catching up.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another TR small, for whatever it's worth.
But yeah, our runners just in completely different parts of the world right now. Like one's doing the east and one's doing the west, and then they're gonna flip flop, and they're all gonna get they're gonna get all the same things eventually.
And I was just about to say Doc has to be careful on one heart. And
yeah, looks like he picked up a fairy
somewhere,
somewhere, so he's fine. A little bit slight advantage to Doc because he was able to get a Triforce piece out of it by finding Tower of Hera.
Oh, and chat telling us that Maniacal did pull Master Sword out of Desert.
But having a Master Sword is really nice for Maniacal. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, Desert's another one that we can... So, if we can find the back of Desert, we can pull Ped.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if there's something on Ped.
I would be rushing Ped if I got all three of those pendants.
Yeah.
Again, a little bit of an advantage for Doc because of the fact that if he does find back a desert in the near future, he may be able to combine a ped check or a ped pull with the Skullwoods play that Maniacal has just finished right now. I mean, we found Turtle Rock and Thieves Town as far as our Dark World dungeons, and that's it. So it's been all Light World dungeons.
Oh, bottle number 3, and it comes with blue goo.
Yeah, and you know what? You take this because it's got blue in it. I don't think I'd go out of my way to grab that bottle if it had a bee in it.
Have we found Potion Shop even?
I have not seen it. Given the technical difficulties we had just a little bit ago, I wouldn't be surprised if we missed it, but...
Right. And hey, now we can do Magic Bat. I didn't even think about that with the glove.
Yeah, well, Maniacal still needs to find that glove. Let's see.
Right, I just mean Doc is now doing
yep.
Magic Bat.
Yeah, and I think Maniacal's gonna do... Yeah, he's gonna probably go across with the flippers unless this connector takes him to something else that's interesting.
Well, Magic Bat's not interesting, so...
Oh,
ooh,
okay.
Odd area connector, okay.
Well, he was gonna get there eventually anyway.
Right.
This should get him Tower of Hera. Eventually it'll get him Spiral Cave, which will get him a glove. It wouldn't surprise me if he puts off Spiral Cave until he does all the other things in the area. Because, with Spiral Cave just being a dead end, it's the one-way connectors are annoying in that way. Doc feeling like he's still low enough on hearts to, a free heart just sitting there. It's worth picking up.
We've been pretty healthy here. Oh, another desert entrance, go figure.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm assuming the Maniacal hasn't checked them all then, because maybe he checked the middle one. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you'll check one and it'll take you somewhere interesting, and then you don't check the other. Oh, we didn't see Blind's Hut on... I mean, I know Doc did it, but we didn't see it. I'm sure chat saw it, and they'll be like, oh, there was nothing here, but it's new for us. There's Desert Back. Oh, Bikita Swamp is a fetch quest, but we haven't found Swamp yet, so at least we get it before we enter.
Presumably Doc has that as well. But yeah, this is gonna give Doc 3 pendants, and he has the mirror now, so he can get ped pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm Doc, I'm heading over to the to do the Skullwoods check, and then I'm gonna mirror in front of ped. I'm just gonna pull it. For Maniacal, it's a little more tricky because he's already done the Skullwoods check, so he might not want to rush back over there.
Chat asking, and I missed, where was the mirror? Do you remember, Tracy?
The mirror was somewhere in the South Dark World, because he got it before he did Spiral Cave. I want to say it's in the fortune teller shop. I don't remember what was in that shop.
Doc doesn't want to do an NMG Landmo fight. Oh, well, he's sort of doing an NMG Landmo fight. He just started with some bombs.
I don't find the fighter sword fight that difficult. It's probably slow. I guarantee you it's slower than using arrows, because if it wasn't, the NMG runners wouldn't do it. Would use fighter sword. But I don't find the fighter sword fight that difficult. Maniacal still hasn't checked the back of a man.
Well, arrows do tempered sword damage to Landmo, so it kind of makes sense that you'd rather
Yeah,
do that than use the fighter sword.
well, I mean, when you ask speedrunners why they do a certain thing, almost always the reason is because it's faster.
Right. Well, I'm just saying something that does tempered sword damage is going to be faster
Yes.
generally than using a
Well,
fighter
faster
sword.
if you can hit your targets.
Yes, okay.
And the NFG runners can hit their targets. For me, personally, a fighter sword fight is going to be much faster than trying to use the bow.
And we found Sick Kid, but he just has bombs. Ooh, is Maniacal gonna show us catfish?
I think so. He's going to do Hera first. Doc also going to take the full bottle of blue.
Why not?
Yeah, chat's saying the catfish wasn't anything much when Doc did it.
So. Oh, Doc did go there. Okay. Oh, I missed the fourth bottle, so Doc must have the fourth bottle as well.
He must. He must have all four. And with the mirror, he doesn't even need to worry about that fairy messing up his death warps, because he doesn't have the death warp.
So chat mentioning the GT entrance, that's another thing we didn't discuss about this mode, but it's actually zero crystal GT entrance.
Yeah, you know, I actually think cross keys in general should be zero crystal GT entrance. Like, there's no reason in an entrance mode to have that. I'm quite glad that they decided to do it that way in this mode in particular. And here comes the ped pull.
Head hype in chat? What's it going to be, like hook shot?
A small key.
Well, the game probably thinks we logically need it.
I mean, you know, if this were if this weren't the Triforce Hunt, if this were a regular cross keys entrance race, that would be a logically required ped pull. The good news is Maniacal doesn't necessarily need that pod small. We can full clear the dungeon with 5 pretty easily, and even if not, there's a really good chance that even if he doesn't get to 5, there's a really good chance that he just won't need one of the 6 key locked locations.
Yeah. It's just funny because, like, the game was clearly pushing us there because it thinks the pod small is important.
Yes, exactly. I do have to ask Incoherent if when he says friends don't let friends do 4 key pod, is that just don't go in with 4 keys, or is that don't full clear it with 4 keys? Because
we still don't have pod big.
Yeah, we don't even have pod entry. We haven't even seen pod.
That
but
too.
you can full clear pod with 4 keys, but it's really slow and really dumb. Okay, yeah, he says don't do the full key. Don't do the full 4 key full clear. Yeah, I agree. There's some very niche situations where I'll do it, and that usually involves things like reading ped and seeing there's a pod small key there. And even then I might not do it, so. Yeah, usually the strategy is to leave one of the either the harmless hellway or the big key chest for later. A lot of runners will make that decision based on whether they have the big key or not. All right, this should be the mirror for Maniacal if I am remembering correctly. Hey, I remembered correctly. Okay, Maniacal's gonna get this big key over here. And Doc's gonna find a Hyrule Castle, and is gonna go ahead and go do Darkross, which will get him a shield. You know, kind of as we said, now the runners have basically switched places. Again, I think again slight advantage to Doc because of the efficiency. He's got the three. He's got that third pendant. Was able to pull ped.
Yeah.
Just the routing just worked out a little bit better for him because he had that mirror, because he had the pathing just worked out better. But we're a long way from the end of this thing.
But hey, we can hype up that oh, there's the front of Old Man Cave. Okay, sure.
Yeah, we could rescue him again.
Old Man Rescue, I should say, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't, like, Maniacal still hasn't saved and quit to the mountain. And I don't think either one of them has checked the back. Oh, that's where that small key to Turtle Rock was that
there's the Curiosity Shop. It's always weird to see a bee for sale.
I know, right? I wonder if anyone ever bought the bee in the original game.
For a moth fight?
I mean, I remember when I played the original game, just those bees just drove me up the wall. Like, why would you want one? Like, it never, like, the game, like, I remember the manual talking about using the bug net to catch a bee, and I'm like, why would you want to do that? It just made no sense.
I don't think this setting exists anymore, but in a previous version of the randomizer for difficulty besides hard and expert, there was insane, and one of the things about insane difficulty was if you powdered anti-fairies, they turned into bees.
Oh, yuck. That sounds horrible.
Yes.
Well, there's also, I haven't seen anyone play this in a while, but there's also a branch on the randomizer where your sword button, your B button, controls like one specific weapon that you get to use you have to use to kill things, and one of those is bees, and so like you're doing Ganon kills with bees and stuff. It's
Was that Maniacal misremembering, by the way? He mirrored to the Cave 45 entrance and then was like, oh yeah, I came out here.
Yeah, probably did it with muscle memory and then looked at his tracker and saw that it was marked off, would be my guess.
So now
That's
that
right, it was
Doc's in
Kara
Desert, he'll finally get his Master Sword.
Yeah, it was Kara that did all those modes. Those are really, I never played one of those, but those are really fun to watch.
That is a name from the past.
A small key at the dig game.
Oh, we can do cutscene.
The worst small key in the game. That Tower Hair small key is bad enough if you're already at the dungeon, because that basement location is not on the path to anything else in the dungeon. But to have to potentially go back for it. Now, I didn't see where that desert palace back of was actually located.
It was somewhere in the vicinity of Dark Lumberjack.
Okay. Yeah, it has maybe North Dark World somewhere, because Maniacal hasn't done everything there yet. It's gonna take this connector, which is gonna take him. Oh, we're gonna mirror here to get these entrances. That makes sense. Money we don't need.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not even getting the 20 rupees.
I mean, that guy's got to feel pretty good that no one's smashing up his pots. Ooh, Tempered Sword is nice.
Yeah.
And
And we
let's
can
see
see what
if
the
we get
fairy gives
anything
us.
good. Eh, nothing.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Honestly, I think I'd rather get that than the bee, because, like, you have to release the bee to when
Then you
you
don't
go
have
to a
to
potion.
spend
Yeah.
time releasing the bee when you
Yeah,
want a
exactly.
potion.
Yep. Oh, we didn't see any. There's that last desert entrance, by the way.
At least if it's nothing, it's free nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, once Maniacal finds the back of Desert, he'll be in pretty good shape with Tempered Sword. He doesn't need to do
Hey,
both strats.
look what we found.
Ooh!
So that's all 4 Turtle
Blue
Rock
mail.
entrances in Light World, Death Mountain. 3 on the west side, 1 on the east side.
And after we discussed about where Doc might or might not have gotten the mirror, I totally missed where Maniacal got it.
Oh yeah, it was at the it was Bombable Hut. Only it was at the fortune teller shop near Dark Lake Hylia.
Okay. And hey, we don't quite have a high five at TR Big Chest,
We're
but
close.
close proximity.
I trying to think if there's. I guess we have some north entrances, or top of the mountain entrances we can check. We can do Spike Cave now. I'm not sure that's what Maniacal's doing here, but he could. Probably gonna check Hera entrance. Probably check the top of the mountain. Drop down to Spiral Cave entrance. Get this small key. It's to Skull Woods.
Well, if we find the back of Skull Woods, we could do it out of logic with the lamp.
We could. I mean, I would.
Yeah, why not?
The only time
Especially with Tempered and that
Yeah,
many
I
hearts
mean-
and blue mail.
it's a relatively easy sequence break, and you know, the fact that you're missing the fire rod for it is pretty irrelevant. The only thing you're not going to find the fire rod back there.
Right. In non-entrance, it's more relevant because you can't get there without the fire.
Yeah. It's literally an entrance only strat. Okay, floating island just with a single arrow, so we don't care about that. Another shop we don't care about.
Shoutouts to Adirondack Rick, one of the tournament admins in chat, reminding us that you should follow the runners. As we've said, they're both friends of ours here. Really great guys.
Oh, hey, we're gonna check the back of the start spot from the mountain. I think Maniacal might have found the front from bombing Spike Cave, or not Spike Cave, Hype Cave. They both have an I sound in them. Oh, that's
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah, top of bumper. Which
That's
we can mirror.
That's a good start spot.
And it's just a fairy. But sometimes it's something important up there.
I mean, sometimes that item is important. Now the arrows aren't. I'm not sure Maniacal actually wanted to pick up the arrows, but just kind of landed on them.
Nice jazzed up Super Mario 2 track here.
Oh, this is where. Okay, so Maniacal is going to catch up on Triforce pieces in just a second. Gonna go.
I
ahead
told
and
you it was
finish this.
somewhere near Dark Lumberjack.
Yeah. We'll see if he goes and pulls Ped. And get that all-important pod small key.
Yeah, so many dungeons we haven't even found yet. I mean, we've seen thieves, but...
We've seen thieves in all of Turtle Rock.
Right.
Those are our Dark World dungeons that we've actually seen. We've seen
Right,
Thieves
if we-
Town, and we've seen all 4 entrances to Turtle Rock.
Oh, I just realized Maniacal has the TR Big since he opened the big chest.
Yeah, I think he was the one that found it first. Although I wouldn't swear to that. There's that stretch of game where we weren't quite able to watch everything.
But yeah, so a couple of rods would give us a Triforce piece there, and Thieves Big would give us that Triforce piece. But other than that, we need to be hunting for entrances.
We need entrances. We do have the ability to do quite a bit in GT if it decides to show up. Although right at the moment we have no way across the. Well, I mean, we could Moldorm bounce for for a Triforce. No, you can't because the chest wouldn't show up. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, so Doc never did do Blindside. We just
yeah.
thought we had missed him doing it.
I mean, I guess he might not have done the pod area at all because he went down Spiral Cave first. And then maybe prioritized some of the other things in that area.
Oh, and by the way, just to be clear about the tunes here, the MSU is Grand Poo World 3, so it's got a nice mix of classic NES tunes.
Okay, we're gonna get some new checks over here on Dockside. We haven't seen the top of castle entrances, which we can get to with the mirror here. Just a map on the ledge there we don't care about. Maniacal thought about leaving that heart container behind. It's nice to pick it up.
Hey, completed the first row. And turns out we didn't need that cape for
Oh, here's Castle
getting
Tower.
into Vanilla Castle Tower. Yeah, the cape was to put Samarian logic.
Yeah, because I think the shields wouldn't have done it, and the Cane of Burner was on.
Well, we
Laser
don't
Bridge.
know where Mirror Shield is.
Oh, it's true. We don't have the third. We don't have the third shield, so.
Great track, by the way. And
I'm trying to
nothing
remember
in
what I know that music. I'm trying to remember what original game that was from. Oh well.
So Rubian is saying Marble Zone.
Oh, Sonic.
The Hedgehog 1.
Oh, Sonic Marvels. Okay, no, that's of course.
Sonic.
After all this, at this point, Maniacal up a sword and Doc up a pod small key. Pretty much, we've done a lot of the same things. Are we not gonna check that, Maniacal?
It was
Maybe he
junk.
wants to check this. I mean, he doesn't know that.
Ooh, and Doc is going for a coffee break.
Okay, Maniacal just wanted to see what the other entrance was first. Nice to have Tempered Sword for this room in particular.
Hope you enjoyed your coffee, Doc. Now let's see what her basement has.
I know I don't know what's worse, it having something or it not having something. It's not something you ever want to have to come back to. And it has nothing. 300 rupees.
But I'm sure Maniacal will give the time right back to Doc at some point. And Saha just has another heart container. We're very healthy now.
I mean, we almost have enough. One more heart and Maniacal can do Spike Cave without any safeties. 14 hearts being enough to do it without dying. Okay, we're gonna get the ped pull from Maniacal. He's gonna get that all-important pod small key.
Yeah, chat remarking we're over an hour in and still no sign of boots.
We're over an hour in and we're still missing a ton of dungeons. We've still seen
Yeah.
exactly 5 dungeons. And funny, and the fact that one of those dungeons is all 4 entrances of Turtle Rock. And let me add that we found that none of those entrances were found by traversing it. We found all of them independently. So.
Oh, we never saw that third exit to Paradox Cave, and hey, the Arrow of Destiny is on Floating Island.
Yeah. I don't miss the days of hints that there is a unique item. And it just happens
did we
to
know
be
Bombos
the
was on
small
Desert
arrow.
Ledge?
I don't think we did. I won't swear to it. Can't do anything about it right now. That would give us access. Oh my god, it's a dungeon that we can do things with.
Yeah, depends how much bomb jumping you want to do.
I mean, I was thinking more about climbing. We have a
That's
bow.
true, we can do the full
we don't
climb,
have a
but
hook shot. We don't have a hook shot.
we
Okay,
can use bomb jumps to get to Ice Armos. We can even pick which side we go down with bomb jumps to get to Ice Armos.
Yeah, I would go this way. It's just one. It's one nasty bomb jump, but it's just one.
Yeah, I agree.
We only have one small key though, so I don't know if they go all the way to ice. Well, yeah, I like. It's okay, just bounce Moldorm 2. The only problem with bouncing Moldorm 2 is you can't get the chest for the Triforce pieces if you do a bounce. So, yeah.
Of course, the hookshot could be upstairs in GT.
Boots. We got boots. Dr. Earworm found the dam and had boots.
Oh. Well, that's quite a place to put the boots.
Let's see, where was this entrance?
GT.
Oh.
Of course.
Okay, so that connector that he took in Paradox.
Yeah, that Paradox connector that we could have had a long time ago that no one wanted to use that exit from Paradox.
As opposed to the exits that spit us out at Hammer Pigs.
Right. So boots have been available for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, small key to Misery Mire, not particularly interesting in this Mire Shed location.
Well, there's Maniacal's 14th heart.
Okay, we're not going to do a ton of sequence breaking over there at GT. With the flute, we can get back there easy enough. I think the real problem is here without the boots to make it faster to go to the left side, and with only one small key to go to the right side. Maybe not the best use of our time. We do find an entrance to Misery Mire. Maniacal without those boots can't do anything with that.
Oh, and there's the Thieves' Big from draining the dam. So Doc can beat Thieves. He can beat Mire once he finds it.
Yep. And with the boots, it's a little more reasonable to go left side GT to get to the Triforce piece there. And now we find Skull Woods. Wow. Okay. So that.
And Hype Cave had pod small number 5.
So all of a sudden, Doc taking that Paradox exit is kind of put him in a really good position.
Yeah.
Like this is like how. Let's see. He can do Mire. He's gonna do Skull Woods out of logic.
Well, he has to find Mire first.
Yeah, but he's gonna find it pretty soon.
Right.
But that gives him. He can do the GT. I mean, 2 of these are. He can do Thieves Sound. That's 4 more Triforce pieces that he can get. And Maniacal also. Yeah. Maniacal's also going to go ahead and do the Skull Woods.
Actually, I guess if he hovers, it's 5.
Yeah, I don't know if Doc covers or not. I know Maniacal does.
Right.
I mean,
he was practicing.
He was
hovering during the 10-minute
on the Mario
play.
practice hover thingy.
So that is piece number 4 for Doc, soon to be piece number 4 for Maniacal.
But yeah, if Maniacal doesn't do that paradox connector soon, he might be in a bit of trouble here. Now, that's still not all the Triforce pieces. There's still more to find. We still haven't seen Pod, we haven't seen Swamp, Ice.
And we still don't have rods to finish TR with.
Yep. Oh, chat's saying we've seen Swamp. We might have.
Not that we can beat it without the hook shot.
Yeah. Well, not that we can beat it without the hook shot, but at the time, no one had pulled the dam yet. Oh, we got a Brothers connector taking us to Mimic Cave entrance, which is pretty useless.
Yeah, Maniacal saw that earlier before he even had the Moon Pearl. So besides finding entrances, we need to find either hookshot or pod big or both rods.
Alright, so Maniacal's starting to take some connectors. He's taking this hookshot cave connector, which I don't think we've seen go all the way through. That might mean he's going to hit Paradox connector pretty soon.
And as you said, Doc was going to find Meyer pretty soon, so here he is, and I imagine there'll be a full clear.
Alright, Maniacal's done with that set of connectors. We're about to see some items in Meyer. Oh, we're going back into GT. What are we going to do in GT? There's nothing left in Logic. Oh.
Right.
Unless if the hookshot isn't on this path, this is going to be a big waste.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Maniacal's doing this before traversing Paradox Cave to get his boots. Because if he had the boots, fine. We know he can hover. He could grab the Triforce piece. But yeah, the mini helmet chests are in Logic.
Well, I mean, people keep saying that he'll bounce, but the bounce doesn't give you the chest, which is where the Triforce is. So the boulder arm bounce, all it does, it gets you whatever is in the back, which might be the well? We haven't seen the well. Or have we? Have we seen the well?
I don't think we've seen the well.
So that might be behind GT, I gotta assume. Have we seen all the drop downs? I'm trying to remember if anyone's been to the Hyrule Castle drop down, which seems odd that no one would have gone there, an hour 17 in. So we think this would be well, which, I mean, I guess you could mold or bounce to get those 5 items, but then you're probably never getting this Triforce piece, because I can't imagine wanting to climb twice.
Yeah. Guess we'll see how this plays out. Unless the hook shot is somehow
I
upstairs in
mean,
GT, which it could be.
it wouldn't be the strangest thing ever to see a hook shot up there. The other way this could work out for Maniacal is if there's something else that ends up being required that leads to the hook shot. Like a big key with a big key with the hook shot behind it or something weird like that.
But also, doing the GT climb without boots is just painful.
Oh, for sure. Like, to Maniacal's mind, he's got two outs here, right? He figures he could find boots or a hook shot and be fine. We know that the boots are not up here. We do not know where the hook shot is. Hook shot is a lot. There's a lot of places that hook shot could still be.
And meanwhile, Dr. Earworm is heading down to my basement. He will shortly be getting his 5th Triforce piece.
So the other thing annoying about this climb is not having a fire rod. Lamp works fine, but it's just a little bit more difficult to deal with.
Short range.
Like, I've never, like a lot of runners will do the torch in the upper right last. I've never been able to figure out the positioning to hit the torch but not fall down. The book.
Intriguing. That's 2 tablets we can pull.
Yeah, book, hook shot on a tablet, anyone? Another
And
small
pod
key to
6.
pod. Okay, a hook shot at pod behind a 6 keys pod. Although that doesn't really help Maniacal because Dr. Earworms would be able to clear it with 5. It looks like that was a half-hearted attempt at Moldorm bounce.
Yeah.
You can't get the chest. Decide to give up on that.
Okay, so where was Paradox Cave? Is that?
I don't. It was
on
in the
mountain
eastern
somewhere.
area. I want to eastern area. We're gonna follow that book, which makes sense. That's the one thing you got in the climb. You want to follow it. You hope to find a hook shot behind the book.
You were saying, Tracy.
Okay, so
Burn the witch?
That's exactly what he wanted there. I mean, the bad part is, though, that might not be required.
I mean, we've seen Swamp at some point. He can now finish it. He can go back and get Moldorm's last possession.
Yep.
He can do the rest of left side, like Rando Room and stuff.
I just mean that if you could get all the other Triforce pieces. Now, if Ice Rod's in a really dumb spot, that hook shot, like, best case scenario for Maniacal is there's an Ice Rod behind that, hard behind that hook shot. Because then Doc is going to have to get it. Have to get the book and have to get the...
Yeah. Well, first things first, we do left side here.
Yep.
You have to skip map chest.
Does he? He's already
has
opened
one
the
small key on him.
Can he get to the back with one small key? I'm trying to without...
If he burns it to go into map room, no.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember, because he's already opened the top, so a lot of times you have to skip something to be able to still go at the top. Yeah, no boomerang. We have to use Kana Samari or bombs to hit the switch. And Doc's probably going to do this too. He's just going to do it.
Because, you see, Tracy, there's a key for a key there, but to get past Fire Snake Room...
Right.
We need to be holding on to that key.
And Doc's kind of in the same position because he's going to want to save a small key to climb.
Both of them liking their ether medallion.
Ether's great. I mean, for things that it kills, like Ether casts so much faster than Bombos, that it's just a better medallion.
I think there's our last TR, our third TR small. In any case, we have more TR smalls than we need.
So, an ice or I guess what other big keys? A pod big key? I mean, basically, Maniacal needs something to be hard behind this hook shot. Now, this area doesn't count because Doc's gonna do it anyway with the boots. But if there's something blocking a dungeon for Doc with that hook shot, he's gonna have to get it. Which very much keeps Maniacal in this race. Whereas if he can just do because there's only 2 Triforce pieces that are just normally locked behind the hook shot. The one at the top of GT and the one at Swamp. And you can skip 2.
Hookshot also gives Maniacal Mire access without the boots.
Right. Which he probably does next.
I don't see why not.
As for the climb, if I were Maniacal, since there's really aren't any new checks there. I guess there's whatever's behind GT, which we think is the well.
Right.
I'm not sure I'd rush to climb right now. But you do have a few things behind, so maybe you do it now. We'll see.
It's just unfortunate without the boots.
Yeah. 2 climbs without the boots.
Yeah.
There's your Triforce piece.
And garbage.
I could also see him, because Mire's right here. Do Mire and then come back and climb. But to my way of thinking, you maybe try and save the climb for the last thing you do, so that there's a possibility you don't have to do it twice. Maybe you get the ability to do a different dungeon. But the other part of the equation is Maniacal still needs to do that Paradox Cave entrance, because he can't do Swamp until he gets the dam.
Oh, yeah, there is that little detail.
But whereas before, when the book was not, before when we didn't know it was that the book led to the hook shot, if that wasn't the case, I would put Dr. Earworm in a pretty big advantage at this point. With that hook shot behind the book, behind the climb, I still think this is anybody's game. Somewhere we got a shovel. And it's half magic, which is a really nice item, but not required.
Still not gonna turn it down.
Oh god, no. Shovel was in Mire, okay. So Maniacal should get that, because he's full clearing it. He's doing cutscene right now. And if you're gonna skip anything in Mire, this is what you're skipping. Yeah, question in chat. Yes, the hook shot was on Bombo's tablet with the book on GT Climb. So that
how's that for disgusting?
Yeah, that is keeping Maniacal in this race. Like keeps him very much in this race. And Dr. Earworm finds Ice Palace, but we can't do Ice Palace. We do not have a Fire Rod or a Bombos.
Right. We would have to find a connector to Left Side Desert, or else...
or find Mitts, yeah.
Right, or find Mitts, or find a connector to Mire area. Or find that freaking Fire Rod, which is trolling us.
Yeah, that would allow Ice Palace.
We're gonna be even on Triforce pieces again, but Doc's definitely covered a lot more ground.
Yep.
But Maniacal has the hook shot.
Yep. We're gonna get see at least one check in Hookshot Cave here. So I imagine Maniacal goes back to after he's done here. Unless he decides to climb and get that Triforce piece, and I hope there's something behind it. Behind Agatu. There's the shovel.
And you know what they say, shovel is the true go mode.
Okay, question for you, Drossi, while we're kind of retracing each other's steps. What is your all-time favorite league name?
League team name? That's a tough one. I mean, 2 Pearl, 2 Furious is pretty awesome. They've been around every season, too.
That's a good one, yeah. I think I like the I'm gonna get this not quite right, but the volleyball team has a
oh yes, our unsere Alkoholmannschaft hat ein Volleyballproblem.
Yes, that's that.
And for those of you who are too new to know the 2 Pearl reference, there was a seed in the 512 Swiss that had 2 moon pearls. Needless to say, that race was invalidated.
Oh gosh, the 512 Swiss.
Yeah.
that was when I was not quite, I was on the outside of the community looking in and watching all these races, and I remember looking at the SpeedGaming schedule and just the sheer volume of races before they would get their channels and scheduled. Rick says the 512 stress brought lessons and stress and white hair. Was it Brian that Willard was always on the phone with on Sunday night? I think we have a few people that'll never want to run a tournament again that did that. Okay, this will be Thieves Town for Doc, and maybe you might do Spike Cave right afterwards.
I'm thinking the 512 Swiss was the 3rd iteration of the main tournament, and this is now, what, the 9th iteration?
Oh gosh, I'd have to think about it and count, and counting is, as people know, counting is not my strong point. But yeah, we're definitely up there.
Yeah.
Okay, Spike, we're gonna get Hookshot Cave from Maniacal. You can see all of it. Get some new checks here. We're also gonna get new checks. Oh, there's our fire rod.
Yay! Maniacal can do ice now.
Except I think ice might have been at King's Tomb.
Oh, yes, okay, fine. Well, Maniacal, go to Paradox Cave and find your boots and dam.
So fire rod is logically
It is interesting that neither runner wanted to take that exit the first time through. That they both prioritized the other exit.
I mean, that's usually what you do, because theoretically you can go back in, and then neither one of them chose to go back in because it was hammer picks and it was slow.
Yeah. And Doc in the back of Thieves Town, we don't have the small, so we'd be isolating the big chest here.
Which shouldn't be an issue, because, you have theoretical choices here. I mean, it is, for the most part, from what I've seen, they don't seem to really give the so-called illusion of choice, where you think you have choices, but the game kind of railroads you in a certain direction. Oh gosh, Zeruvian is right in chat, because that unless Doc goes and hovers, Hookshot Cave. Oh, nice silvers behind the fire rod. And he's gonna need to climb to get that book, because that fire rod is behind the hook shot, and Locke's finishing, Locke's finishing a dungeon.
Right. Yeah, so the game really wants you to climb.
I mean, he might still be able to do Ice Palace if we can find a way to get to that Bombos medallion, but...
But he's not going to finish TR.
But yeah, TR hard requires that Fire Rod. Okay, we got one more book check for Maniacal. Small key. Small key to Thieves Town.
Now, he still hasn't found the big.
Yeah, because I think the big key was...
Yeah, was that in Flooded Spot?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So we need to find the dam.
We're both going to Spike Cave.
We talked about it a while ago. Convergence, even.
Just the 10 bomb spot that is in the game, so that standard mode can have a bomb start.
Oh yeah, Maniacal's gonna get his half
yeah.
magic now.
Hookless Swamp for Doc. Ouch. That's not a great place for him. So, you know, remember
Seed anyone?
So remember when we said that we didn't want to do the hammer pigs go back into Paradox Cave to check the other entrance?
Would have saved a lot of time.
The play, as it turns out, was to do the hammer pigs to go back into...
Oh, and Maniacal is going to do the bootless climb.
I mean, it gets him a Triforce piece, and theoretically gets him some more items, so it makes a certain amount of sense. If he gets... You know what, though? If he gets Mitts behind this, he gets that entrance for the Damas.
Oh, no, he never did Compass Room. He didn't bomb jump or anything, so now he'll do Compass Room with the Fire Rod.
Oh, yeah, because he's... Yeah, he doesn't need a small... You know... No, he has to steal the small... He can't do Compass Room.
You're right, he can't. He just realized that.
Yeah. He has opened all the doors on the climb, so he doesn't need to worry about that. And you know one of the more painful aspects of doing Hookless Swamp? Look what Dr. Earworm's doing right now.
What?
Yeah,
no Specky Clip?
No Specky Clip. I mean, honestly, I think if it were me, I would probably do Hookless Swamp before I do a Hookless Climb. Unless I could hover. Unless I could reliably hover. Red mail.
Hey, yeah. Something to show.
A kind of a gray-purple frog with a red tunic, you know.
I'm just feeling so bad for Maniacal doing 2 bootless GT climbs.
I know. At least this time he gets to finish. This time, A, he gets to finish it this time, and B, he knows that no one's going to be able to avoid this. Or he expects no one is going to be able to avoid it. It's like, if he had gotten the boots first, he would have just hovered it and gotten the book, and it all would be well. Yeah, and Doc, in the meantime, I guess he checked map chest, so he doesn't have keys to climb. Although you don't need any keys to get those first 2 chests.
No, wait.
Was the book in the mini Helma room, or was it the next one?
Doc didn't check map chest, I don't think, did he?
Oh, okay, he got one in Thiestown? Okay. No, Book Me Before Moldrum 2 isn't the issue. It's,
Oh,
was it
there's our
before?
last TR small, which we definitely don't need.
Yep. Book with Mini Helma. So the book is not behind any GT Smalls. That's fun.
Yes, the difference between VT logic and entrance and doors logic.
Maniacal, this time you have Fire Rod. You could have used it.
That is kind of funny. Force of habit, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hopefully he uses it. It's more... No, he's still not using it.
And did Doc get anything for his troubles in...
You got the Turtle Rock Small.
Yeah. Did he get anything useful for his troubles in Swamp?
I don't think he did. Red Mail, yeah.
Yeah, Boots... Boots are basically go mode for Maniacal.
Yep.
Because he'll have pulled Dam, he knows where Swamp is. He'll get Thieves big pretty quickly as soon as he goes to Flooded Spot,
Yep.
and then he just needs to find Ice. So, the question is... Oh, Doc's doing the climb now.
I mean, we know he has to do this.
Yeah, so can Maniacal get Boots and piece that little bit together before Doc finds his way through all this?
You also would... again, if Mitts are behind Aga 2 here, that would also solve the puzzle for him.
Right. Well, it wouldn't give him Ice.
I mean,
Oh, no, it would, because you'd get Boots, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because the dam is in the zero.
Right, so the Boots
crystal.
are in the dam, so we just need to get up to GT entrance.
Because the Paradox Cave takes you to the floating island, which allowed Dr. Earworm to get into GT entrance. The Mitts would also let Maniacal get to GT entrance. Rick pleading to not have this kind of seed tomorrow.
Did we scout Pyramid Ledge? We must have at some point.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was nothing. And it is the dam, so let's see, what do we got? Small key to Hyrule Castle. I don't remember what we got in Hyrule Castle, but it's all in logic now. A mushroom and an ice rod.
Okay,
oh,
well,
okay. Well, that's
try
another.
next.
That is another triangle that Maniacal can get.
And I guess we'll find out soon enough whether Doc can hover.
Well, I believe that people in chat were saying that he could do it if absolutely pressed to do it. I think it's more of a... We'll see how hard he decides to try to do it. Okay, I think we just do Turtle Rock now?
I was
gonna turn the mushroom first, but have we? I don't think we've seen the potion shop.
Yeah, it's
Unless
more
it's right
of a,
here?
well, might as well get rid of the mushroom.
Oh, it's right
Oh,
here.
no, it's right here. Okay.
It's right here.
And he even grabbed the $20.
I mean, he worked hard for it. Yeah, now we're gonna finish up Turtle Rock. And we have full clear Turtle Rock. For those of you that missed it, we found all 4 entrances to Turtle Rock on the mountain. 3 in the west. Turtle Rock East was in the east, fittingly. And we found them all separately. We didn't traverse any of it.
Now, the thing is, we've seen no sign of Pod or the Pod Big Key. So if that's
We
off the table, Doc needs to get through here.
Yes, he does. I mean, if he also has to, yeah, okay, we're just... Oh, he forgot to grab the small key.
Oh.
So I think he's at least gonna make some hover attempts.
Yeah, if he gets the hover, this might be over pretty quickly, because then he'll get the ice rod, he'll be at 9. Maniacal's now at 8.
Yeah, he's gotta go back to... He's gotta get the hook shot to get the fire rod. Or he could just finish Swamp, I guess. That would work too.
He needs the hook shot either way, but... he's determined.
I mean, chat saying that he has to go back to Bombo Staff. The only thing you get on a GT climb is the book. You do all the book things, so I'm not worried about him finding the hook shot. He will find his hook shot. Maniacal is starting to run out of things that he can do. He's got to remember that he didn't do the both entrances of Paradox Cave, which is not easy. Like, that's not an obvious thing.
Yeah. Where's he going?
Back of Skull Woods, I think.
Oh, right. That is an entrance. We have
It is
the
an
fire
entrance.
rod.
I mean, you wondered about Pod. I mean, if Pod were here, you can full clear it except the big chest. You know,
Yeah.
as much as our auto trackers do a ton of things for us, it doesn't do everything, and it does not, and it is not legal to auto track entrances. And even if it were, I don't know that you would necessarily remember that. Oh, hey, I have this one 3-entrance cave that I didn't see all 3 entrances to.
And Doc is out of GT. I mean,
yeah, you could only be trying that for so long.
right. But
yeah,
we know that unless he can find Pod and the Pod Big Key, he is going to need to climb GT again.
Yes. Well, he's gonna check. I mean, he's immediately doing these book checks. He's gonna have his hook shot very soon.
I'm just saying that you add up the Triforce pieces. Yeah, this will give him Swamp, and he'll be able to finish it. And if he goes back to Hookshot Cave, he'll get the Fire Rod and can do ice.
But that leaves... He would have to do one of Pod, GT Climb, and Turtle Rock.
TR, which is behind the GT Climb.
Which is behind the GT Climb, right. So...
Oh, Maniacal doing Hera Basement.
This definitely... I think he's forgotten that he hasn't done both entrances to Paradox.
Oh, Doc immediately going back to the GT Climb. So this could be the end game, because he'll get 8, he'll get the Ice Rod, that'll be 9. So he's effectively in go mode now.
Yeah, and then he can do... He has the hook shot, he can finish up Swamp Palace.
Yeah, which means that the clock is really ticking on Maniacal to remember
to Paradox.
Paradox Cave.
Do we know where Pod is? We have no idea where Pod is. At this point, it has to be... I think it has to be behind the mitts at this point. We have not seen any sign of the mitts.
What's behind the mitts, though?
Besides Pod? Well,
no, I mean, what entrances are behind the mitts?
We have no connectors to Meyer, so all of Meyer.
Oh, right. Yes, that's good point.
Yeah, all of Meyer and Ice Palace entrance. We haven't seen TR entrance.
Maniacal's thinking.
Yeah, I think he's out of things to do. I don't know what he has left. This is not where Paradox is, though.
Additionally, of course, if Doc wins this, the admins will have to make a ruling on the missing 13 minutes.
That's true.
What?
Yeah, he's checking things he's already checked. He's forgotten about Paradox Cave.
That is unfortunate. You hate to see it.
Okay, so those of you that missed it, the thing that Maniacal is missing is he needs to take Paradox Cave, the bottom entrance, to get to Floating Island, which gives him access to GT entrance, which is the dam, which is locking him doing Swamp Palace, as well as locking the Thieves Town Big Key, which is which is the flooded item.
And the dam contains the boots.
And the dam contains the boots. I mean, he doesn't actually need the boots, I don't think.
And to back up a step, both runners found Paradox Cave. Both of them took the upper entrance, which the exit, to check that connector, which was hammer pegs. And since they didn't have the boots at the time, they decided they did not want to hammer 22 pegs without the boots.
Right. Yeah, Maniacal walking into Swamp Palace, and no, you haven't found the flooded chest, or you haven't found the dam, I should say. In the meantime, the hookshot is behind the book, which is on the GT climb. Both runners have climbed twice at this point. Maniacal, because he didn't have the boots to hover. Maniacal would have absolutely been able to hover this. Doc tried the hover and failed it, and then once he found the hookshot, he's come right back here. He's going to find an ice rod in the well, and a fire rod if he goes back to Hookshot Cave. Yeah, I wonder if Maniacal's checking out his VOD to try and figure out what he missed, but he doesn't know what to look for. This is never a good feeling.
Yeah, and I mean, if the mitts had been anywhere, Maniacal would have been bailed out, but
yes, yeah,
we just haven't seen them, and we're not going to.
Yeah, because that's the other way to get up there, is the mitts would get him up there, and then he'd just be able to open it up. But the mitts are probably, at this point, either in Thieves Town Big Chest or in the back of Swamp. Okay, we're moving again on Maniacal side, so he might have thought of something?
I honestly don't even remember where the accessible entrance of Paradox Cave was.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's using the desert connector to get somewhere.
Oh, you know where... this might get him there? I want to say something spit out at the other side of Hookshot Cave. Doc, meanwhile, has his ice rod. And a mushroom. It's also possible that if this is going to spit him out at the top of Dark Death Mountain. No, this is Pod. If there is another access point to the top of Dark Death Mountain, it is entirely possible he's forgotten the Zero Crystal GT entrance.
Oh, right. Doc still doesn't have the fire rod, so he does need to go get that before he can finish.
I mean, go get a Triforce piece, you can get. You might find your go mode on the way. Okay, I feel like this is the area where Paradox Cave is. I think he's figured it out. Might be, yeah, he's figured it out.
Okay.
This might be too little too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think if he hadn't spent the last several minutes thinking, it might have been in time, but...
Picking up the arrow.
Just because.
Meanwhile, let's see if Mitts are back here. Okay, so that was the only accessible way to the mountain, to Dark Death Mountain. Just don't drop down. Big key to Skullwoods. We don't care about that. So Maniacal now has to remember that it is a zero GT entrance, zero crystal GT entrance.
Yeah.
Because you do that, and then you would drop down to the two entrances. No.
Oh, no!
I mean, maybe Mitts are here? It doesn't matter.
No, Doc did Mimic Cave.
Okay. I was about to say, yeah, it actually doesn't matter, because he's got to remember the zero GT entrance requirement. Zero crystal GT entrance.
Maniacal also said he wasn't watching the race room.
Well, when you get in a situation like this, it wouldn't surprise me if he peeks the race room. Okay, maybe he's remembered it now because he's going back into Paradox Cave. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Maniacal does use Dunka Tracker, and as long as it has the cross hunt preset, which I mean, Dunka's in the tournament. It is within his best interest to be available. Okay. This should be lit up as green now.
So definitely too little, too late, because Doc just hit his go mode.
Yep, because now
155.18.
I think he might even have choices here. There's the boots for Maniacal.
Yeah, Doc can decide whether he wants to do Ice or TR.
I mean, with Tempered Sword, I do TR.
Yeah, I would say so too, but...
because we have... As long as you have access to Laser Bridge, that's gonna be faster. Of course, if you don't have access to Laser Bridge, that's a different story, but of course...
Right. So now Maniacal knows he can do Swamp. The problem is, he's still not in go mode because he needs to either find Ice or go to the flooded spot to get his Thieves Big.
Yeah, and Doc is going to Ice. Oh no, he's changed his mind. I mean, in the end, it's not going to matter. He just needs to finish a dungeon, whereas Maniacal still needs to get a go mode by following the boots or following the dam.
Yeah, is Maniacal gonna do left side though?
I hope not. Like you have multiple.
He's go -1.
Your go -1 and your minus. You have multiple -1s.
Right. You're right. You also have several entrances that just became available, and in fact, one of them is Ice, which will be your go mode to find.
In the meantime, this is going to be Doc's last Triforce piece.
And the fact of the matter is, if you take that lower Paradox Cave exit and get the boots early, and you can hover and therefore only have to do one GT climb, this isn't that bad a seed.
No, or even if you can't hover, like it's not is it's not if you can hover, it's actually a pretty good seed. And
if you can hover and get the boots early.
Of course. But yeah, just no one wanted to repeg the hammers in the other entrance. But like, if you're in a situation, I mean, if you know your opponent, like if I'm Doc, I'm like, surely Maniacal hover this, right? Yeah, that's your assumption because he knows Maniacal can hover. But yeah, there's we're jumping down into Ganon.
And Doc never got the silvers because he never did right side TR.
That's true. So we'll do a few sword spins. It'll be fine.
As Maniacal gets his 9th Dorito.
But I guess to finish my point is if you're playing someone else that isn't a hoverer, like if I'm Maniacal, that's not the part that's going to make me feel bad, right? Because if I know that the Doc is not the greatest hover, I feel like, okay, he's probably going to have to double dip this as well, even if he got the boots early. Did you find the arrows in Turtle Rock? Well,
Yep.
why some of us did. Maniacal looks like he's going to go ahead and do these boots checks.
Makes sense. Oh, Doc turns Ganon blue.
Yeah, that never feels good.
Oh, this connector, I think, comes out at Swamp, so Maniacal's about to pick up his Thieves' Big.
Yeah, that'll work.
No, I
No, that doesn't.
misremembered the
No,
connector.
he needs to flute to 7.
Yeah.
Or, no, he's going to find
Right,
ice
flute to
towers.
7 is so easy. He could just go there, pick up the Thieves' Big.
I know,
Not that
right?
he knows it, but yeah, I forgot that, like, flute to 7 is just staring you in the face.
Yeah, he's going to find Ice Palace right after Doc finishes. Mirror Bonk not helping.
But get your GGs in for Dr. Earworm.
Which puts him at 1-1?
Yep. 2 hours, 33 minutes is his official race time. See if we can get him in here. Also, the runners are chatting in the race room, have been chatting in the race room. Maniacal says it was a mistrack and he thought he had checked the bottom exit of Paradox. So it wasn't just a forgetting, he actually thought he had checked it. And
I mean, either way, like...
Yeah. But we
It
welcome
amounts
our
to the
winner,
same
Dr.
thing.
Earworm, GG.
Oh,
GG, Doc.
GG's. GG's.
That was a seed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like a little shaky the whole time because of my capture card issues at the beginning. So that was definitely in my head the whole time. And then I know Maniacal's a hoverer, so as soon as it became clear that the answer was climb without a hook shot, I was like, okay, either Maniacal missed the boots or I lose.
Yeah, well, he missed the boots.
Yeah, it's about right.
as it turns out, yeah. So we chatted about it in the race room, and it looks like we agreed it's a little bit of a gray area. But because my tracker was correctly captured, you can't. Anyone who wants to sort of confirm that my progress makes sense can watch.
Oh yes,
what
no,
I was doing on the tracker,
our
so.
trackers were watching your stream and everything to see your tracker update.
Okay,
And
cool.
keep an idea on where you were.
I mean, and it's not for us to say as us being non-admins.
Right.
We're just not gonna. We'll let them deal with it.
Yeah. If I get it, I'm responsible for my tech issues, and if the admins determine this needs to be a DQ, then I'll accept it. But I will just point out that I'm not happy about it. But the tracker was there, so you can confirm that my progress makes sense with the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, let's. Yeah.
By the way, since we just saw Zora in the credits, did you remember to thank Solsky?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I felt really good for the first hour. There was a lot of decisions I made that were just the right decision, like YOLOing Spiral Cave, and then I found the boots and went, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
you have
those have been
consistent.
available forever.
yeah, you both did Paradox, got spit out of hammer pegs, and decided it was too slow to hammer the pegs, which I don't blame you. That is slow.
Did I
Funny
have the hammer
enough-
yet?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, you both did. It
You
just
both did, yeah.
hammering
Yeah.
22 pegs without the boots,
It wasn't that I mean, you're giving me too much credit by saying that I decided it was too slow. I just absolutely no-brained it.
I mean, maybe I think you all. I know Maniacal had the hammer. I think you both had the hammer.
Yeah,
I feel like that was
probably.
pretty
we
early,
discussed
yeah.
it at the time. They both had the hammer and the moon pearl at that
Oh yeah, because the flippers and money were early, so
Yeah.
so I'd already been up to Zora.
Yep.
And,
Yep, that makes sense.
There's chip number 10 for Maniacal.
Yeah, it doesn't need the actual prize. It's gonna go ahead and save and quit. And
But yeah, Doc,
There's
what I
this
was
one
going to
out.
say, if you watch this back, like for the first hour or so, you're pretty consistently just slightly ahead of Maniacal because your routing wound up being a little bit more efficient. And then, of course, you get the boots, he gets the hook shot, and
Right.
you're both off, like, handling the seed completely differently from each other.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I want to really pat myself on the back about is I was as soon as I opened that second chest on Left Side Swamp, and it was clear that the answer was climb without a hook shot. I said out loud, okay, well, I lose. Like right, and I think I caught a little bit on the delay on the restream of Tracy mentioning that like I can hover, but I'm not good at it. It is absolutely a break in case of emergency, and I almost decided to just sit there and keep trying it until I saw Maniacal finish. And I'm glad I didn't, because it was one of those situations where it's like, okay, maybe I'm still in this. So yeah.
Well, here you are. You got your first win of the tournament.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll see. I'm going to ping the admins right now.
Right.
And ask them to
Rick's
take a
been
look at
watching
it.
this in chat, so he's probably aware, but yeah,
Gotcha.
probably best to make sure they're aware.
Yeah.
And down goes Ganon for Maniacal.
in the end, not that far behind. I don't think he was like when he got to the point where he didn't know what he was missing. I don't feel like he was sitting there for 5 minutes, but I also didn't time it.
No.
So
But
it
there's
would've been
also,
really close
he
if
didn't
still
flute to
had-
7. If he had fluted to 7 and picked up the Thieves Big, he wouldn't have been checking entrances.
But is Thieves any quicker than I don't know. It's hard to say. He just needed to go back sooner than it happened, regardless. So last location, it I think would have been problematic no matter what.
Yeah. And Maniacal said that he needed to take a bit of a breather. I don't know if that means he'll eventually be back for the interview or if he doesn't want to interview, but he said he was stepping away.
Yeah. Yeah, and on that note, it's late here.
Oh, there he
I'm
is.
shaky and hello.
You're muted.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
Hey.
GG's.
GG.
GG's.
Yep. Couldn't really conceivably have played worse. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the hook shot well before Doc did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then it's free if you just go through Paradox Bottom.
Right.
I mismarked that I had Paradox Bottom,
Oh, that's
and then I was like, okay, which 3 entrance dungeons and caves am I not 100% sure on?
right.
And like I got back to it, but not before torching several minutes of standing around, looking at my tracker, doing the soul entrance in back of Skull that was super minus EV, and going and doing Hera Basement, and going like just doing a bunch of bad checks. Like it was things were thinning out, and so like I followed some out of logic pieces, trying to put things back together, and I mean, I had no business being in this race at all, so is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I've been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
This is when you can just. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
go
we were
ahead.
thinking that if the myths had shown up, that might have gotten you out of that situation, because then you would have had
Yeah.
access to it.
I was
But-
pretty sure that Mitz was the piece that I was
Yep.
missing, just
Mhm.
based on the volume of things that were trapped in inaccessible mire area.
right,
Yeah.
it was pod and mire for everything, right? Like that was what was going through my head too.
Yeah, and shout outs.
Presumably.
And as Lana points out in chat, shout outs to the ped pool for the pod small.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean-
that we didn't get to use.
Yep.
Yeah, it was available very early, so it made sense to just go grab it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. I was late to flute, so that was a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
So my mobility was kind of bad early. I probably lost, I'd say, probably a minute or so against reasonable route in the early game.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of some resource issues that kind of forced me into some weird places.
Yeah.
Yeah, just overall not very happy with a lot of the choices in this one. And then just making inexcusable mistakes is, I mean, this is why I lose in this tournament all the time, honestly.
Yeah.
Is being bad at the game, which is how it should be, really.
But in this case, you've already banked 2 wins.
Yes, but I'm still bad, as was demonstrated. So I trust that those will catch up with me.
Well, we have another race coming up for you
Yes.
to
Yes, and
eat
I
those
need to
words, which
decide.
I trust will happen.
Yeah, I need to decide if I want to try and luck bag my way through open or try and leverage movement plus bad in 80 keys. I don't know which of those it is, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once
so-
you know, let me know. We'll throw it on schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Same time next week, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I believe that's what we penciled in for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm running back all 3 races at the same time.
Well, that's convenient.
next
I like
week.
that.
Nice.
I'm not sure. I may need to ask Monday to push with Zero Nix. I think so. There was a real risk of a meeting being added to my calendar. A meeting at like 5 or 6 p.m. Central, which would possibly interfere with an 8 p.m. Eastern race.
I'm based on what
Monday.
you've thrown in the schedule. We've got lots of overlapping time, so we'll figure it out. Just let me know.
Yeah. Our time is good. Our next Thursday, I don't anticipate that being an issue at all. But yeah, I'm not sure about the Zero Next one on Monday, but we'll figure it out.
Right on.
But yeah, this one not so good. Not so good. Feeling very disappointed in myself about this one, but at least I kept it somewhat close somehow.
I mean, given the amount of time you were standing around trying to figure out what you missed, the fact that it was only a 5-minute loss.
Yeah, I mean, that surprises me. Because presumably, I mean, I didn't get the boots until 155, 156.
Mhm.
It's
That
because
sounds
you
about right.
had the hook shot and the fire rod so much earlier.
Sure, but those didn't really do much. Like, they just led me to bad things.
Well,
They
I mean,
didn't
it
really do
kind of
anything.
it put us in no mode.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You need both pieces of the puzzle, and unfortunately,
Yeah, and
both
if you
guys
get
had one piece.
and if you get the boots, that incentivizes just doing the climb when you're in GT the first go
Yeah.
around with left side, and you save a bunch of time when you're doing left side anyway.
Absolutely.
And so instead of getting to the top of the tower and being like, do I bounce to try to get well? Instead of that, it was, just kill Moldorm, hover over, get your chip, and then go get well anyway.
Yep.
Which was, available if you route the seed sensibly and don't make gross errors.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, Doc is obviously fully competent at the game and quite good at entrance. So, I mean, like, very reasonable L to take. but just very disappointed in how what I put on display today. I don't think it was very good at all. So I apologize for that.
We got another one come up, man.
Yep, I know. Gotta dust yourself off and and try and be better next time.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I appreciate you sticking around and waiting on me to finish. I don't generally check the timer, although I did check and see if the race was still going around like 1:55 when or 1:53 when I was out of things to do. I was like, oh, okay, it's still going. And then I hid the thing again, and yeah. I mean, we will have another chance at another mode, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
All
GG.
right. GG's. Thanks for the restream. I'm gonna duck out. But
All right. Well, before you go, good luck to both of you continuing on in the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe this will be the year that I don't botch it in groups, but tonight does not inspire that confidence. So we'll see.
Well, you played everyone in your group once, right?
Yep. And so it is very possible for me to go ahead and finish fourth in group, as is traditional.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Yep. Take it easy.
Good night. And thanks again to both of our runners. Once again, please give them a follow. Thanks to our trackers, Darak Sharna and Adelaide.
And of course, trackers always the MVPs, especially tonight with the early issues for Dr. Earworm had. So huge shout outs to, I think Darak was doing the tracking on that side.
Yeah. And Tracy, nice to do 2 nights in a row with you.
2 nights in a row. It doesn't get any better than that. We do have a full slate of races on the schedule tomorrow. Starting with the early race at 10:40 a.m. right back here on this channel, Iconic versus Gamachu. Also on SpeedGaming Main, we got at 1:10 Zeta Schwert versus Nochibato. Over on the ALTTP randomizer channel at 2 o'clock, 2:10, we have Lin versus Top Life. At 5:10 back on SpeedGaming 2, you have Ninjembro versus So's. And let's see. And at 8:10, we have Moogle Charm versus Adirondack Rick right back here on SpeedGaming Main. And for the nightcap, actually 2 nightcaps at 11:10, we have Ganon's Gone Wild versus Incoherent. 11:10 on right back here on SpeedGaming, and a 2 a.m. special, 2:10 a.m. Tito's versus PRD Wong.
So you can basically watch Rando round the clock to get into your weekend.
Pretty much. So yeah, full slate of matches, and that's like just a small percentage of what's actually on the schedule. So just a ton of Link to the Past races going on for the next 2.5 weeks before we finish out groups.
Yeah, should be fun. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the schedule, like between tomorrow and Saturday, it's crazy how many matches are going to get played.
But yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for us. That is all for tonight in terms of races. But yeah, 10:40 a.m. tomorrow. Tune back here to SpeedGaming Main, and we'll see you there for Iconic versus Gamachu.
And we hope you can join us. And thanks for watching tonight.